Aaron with Assets and Arbitrage. I'm sorry we didn't shoot a show yesterday. I caught a really bad stomach bug and thought my insides were dying. I caught it from Tino, so I've been sick for 2 days. I feel a little bit better today, and I think we have a show for you today. We usually have stuff in the coffer. Um, in addition to our assets, we keep content in the coffer for you.
Yeah, so like
Can I say that?
we always started off, always be stacking your sats, stacking your ounces, and any other assets that you may be dollar cost averaging into. Now, so I hope everybody had a happy having weekend. If I could say that, it's a little bit of
Say it
tongue,
3 times fast.
little tongue twister for me,
3 times
a
fast.
happy having weekend. We had a happy having weekend. Everything went, it went over like we thought it was.
It was also 420, but we don't do we don't
Okay, so
indulge
yeah,
in
it's
that.
for you for all
For you
my
420
people.
people.
Happy 420 to you guys. Is that today or was that yesterday?
That was yesterday.
Was yesterday? Okay, okay, I got
For
check my
420.
numbers.
Our babies, we ended up buying them. What is it? I always call it NBA Jam. I know that is a video game, but what
Okay.
did we buy?
Okay, NBA League Pass.
There we go. So the
NBA League
kids
Pass.
have been watching game after game after game after game. Um, so it's been a lot this weekend. I was so sick for the last 2 days. So
Yeah,
today's
no.
probably the first day I'll get to sit down there with them. And but the Lakers played last night.
Yeah, they played and lost, so that
So
was
what game
that.
would I be watching then? LeBron ain't playing.
There's a lot of games, but
What games matter?
all of them matter.
Because they're trying to go for the.
Yeah, all of them matter. It's just the first round, so they all matter. But our youngins, they won their tournament this morning, their 3v3 tournament. That's what they call it, 3-on-3. So they won that this morning on an early Sunday morning.
And the boys got to play together on the same team. Y'all don't know how much mom loves to see her sons play on the same team, teamwork, work together.
Yeah. So that was good. It's been a long day. So yeah, we got a little show for you today. A couple things came across. Nothing. What do we say? Technical today. This is just more a little bit of freestyle and just things that we see in the space. I don't know. It gets on under my skin. I don't know if it bothers you as much, but it does. It gets under my skin. So I was gonna let a few people get in the room, but
Before we got to it.
yeah, got really
But I
to
want to
it.
say hello to Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle.
Thank you so much for joining us. I haven't seen you in the last couple of shows, so I'm glad that you're back on the live, love.
And so what we got in the room? A few people. So I guess we can get into it.
No. We
No, yeah.
typically wait till about 20 people get in the room before we
Okay.
kind of get to it. It's Sunday,
Yeah, it's Sunday.
so I don't
Sunday
know how
fun
many
day.
people are going to join the room.
Yeah, Sunday fun day.
But we do want to kind of refresh some people. I do want to say, and I was telling Simon this earlier, right? This space has a way of, if you don't know something, right, you're too scared to ask
Yeah, they would.
because people have this way of like shaming, guilting, insulting, embarrassing you. And I don't like that about the crypto space, right? You don't know who's a newbie. You don't know. I mean, we kind of know the OG triple OGs, but we don't know the vocal OG triple OGs, right? We got OG triple OGs in the space who don't have a podcast, who don't engage in chats,
They don't write books.
don't write books,
Yeah.
right? Maybe they tweet, maybe they don't, but you can't really discern who is who. And I feel like if somebody asks a question in this space should have the personality to welcome and embrace questions. And I'm not talking about trolling.
Right.
And even if the person's trolling, answer the question anyway, so that other people can get the information that we're too scared to say something.
Yeah.
But it's a really bad attribute or characteristic in this space, right? So we want to kind of work to change that. We don't want to be shaming people, insulting them, guilting them, trolling them, making them feel bad because they have an elementary question about Bitcoin or crypto or anything.
Yeah.
Now, I do understand what gets under your skin, and we will get to that once we get about 20 people in the room. We're almost there. It's 15 people in the room. Once we get 20, 25 people in the room, we'll definitely get to it. But I do want to change that in the space. I don't know if any of you have ever had that experience, right? Where you had a question or you saw someone who had a question and everybody just, right? Just like dog pound jumped them because they had an elementary question, a question that you just assume that they should know or should have the information on, and they didn't. That's why they asked.
Yeah, but and conversely, the people who just hit you with the open-ended question, "What is Bitcoin?" That question is tiring.
I know
Over
it's a
years
tiring
and
question.
years
I
and
get
years.
it. But and on one hand, we're saying that we want to see more mass adoption. And then on the other hand, we're like, if you ask me what is Bitcoin one more time, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
So we have to find a balance between the two. And I get it. In 2024, why are you asking that? But, maybe push past that, answer their question, help them to get to where they need to get to so that we can get towards the adoption that we're so looking forward to.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to change certain things about this space. We don't want to be Bitcoin bitches or Bitcoin snobs.
It's such a long,
or obnoxious Bitcoiners.
It's such a long-winded answer when somebody just
It's a long-winded
answer. You're like, well, you just like, oh, my goodness, well, where do we start? Where should we start? But she's right. We got to try to be more ingratiating to maybe some of the newbies.
Yeah, we want to be more, like a family welcoming that new member to the family, right? I was looking at a post the other day where someone had adopted a child, and it was a big deal, right? The way the family came together, they had balloons and confetti, and it was a big deal welcoming this child into the family. And I feel like that's how we should be about other Bitcoiners, right? Not altcoiners, Bitcoiners. Okay, like let's make the line in the sand, right? And I say that because with altcoins, there's a lot of risk there. We don't know what the utility is. We don't know what the project is. We don't know who runs it, how many coins they're going to flood the system with. But with Bitcoiners, when we get new adoption, a new adoptee, a new family member, we should be more welcoming, more ingratiating, more loving. Ask me all the questions you need. We are supposed to be the elders, right? In the Bible, we would be the watchers at the gate.
Yeah, people genuinely want to know. Sometimes people come at you.
The trolls, I get it.
Not even the trolls, but people kind of come like, well, what is it? They're coming at you like, what is it? Like, not like they want to learn, but
what is a Bitcoin?
Like, it's nothing. It's like they want to like debate you with it. I'm like, well, I don't want to talk to you about this. You see the people,
But that's the fear wants to debate you. The uncertainty wants to debate you. The doubt wants to debate you, right? And it's a thing where they want to know what it is because they see it trending, but they're scared of the risk that's involved with it. Because when we look at it on its head, there's a lot of really bad propaganda that's gone with it. Our little one, our 13-year-old, came to us late the other night, and he was like, "Mommy, Dad, do you know who Michael J. Saylor is?" I was like, "Well, we don't know if that's his middle name, but yes." Right? See, Michael J. Fox, we don't know if that's his middle name, but yes, we know Michael Saylor is what's going on. He was like, "Well, somebody is impersonating him and hacking into all of these YouTubers' channels, and it's making our space look bad." Now, I was so glad when he said our space, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
and you guys
we're getting somewhere.
I don't know if you guys heard about it. It's been going on for about a year.
A little bit more than a year, yeah.
And so they're saying he's hacking people's spaces.
Young YouTubers too, right?
And then getting their channel taken down. So if you guys say 1 million subscribers, and then he hacks it. They just take your
Well, he's
channel
not
down.
hacking it. The hacker is hacking
The hacker is hacking it,
impersonating him.
and it takes your channel down, and you lose your subscribers.
Right? And
All
these
that
are
that you
young
built up.
YouTubers.
Yeah.
It wasn't lost on us that they did it during the halving.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really a way to make the space look bad. Right?
And he's got a whole team that apparently is taking down 80 videos a day. No.
They take on average about 80. They take down about 80 videos a day. I don't know how that works because thank goodness we've never had that experience with YouTube. But imagine having 1 million subscribers, all of your content, and it gets taken down because somebody hacked your channel.
Yep.
Right? And we're talking 1 million subscribers. Now, granted, I don't know how long it would take for him to get that back up, but now people are questioning, is this you? And that's what you're fighting against.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a new channel coming up. Is that you? Right? Because I would subscribe. I'm happy to subscribe if that's you, but I don't know if it's you, so I'm going to hold my subscription and then I get distracted and we never get back on track. And so they're targeting the younger generation, and that is the problem.
And the irony of it is because MicroStrategy, the company, has a large part of the company is cybersecurity. So it's ironic, that he's hacking, or the hacker is hacking, even though his company is cybersecurity.
Right, and to me, it's terrible. It's terrible. We're gonna get back in the chat.
High level troll.
Oh, hello, dear bit.
Hello, dear bit.
Thank you so much for joining us. Michelle said life was lifing. I like that. Life was lifing. But she's grateful to catch the live. She's running those replays. We thank you so much for your support. Oh, D. Ondemov said my hair is rocking.
Well,
thank you so much. Love you guys. Thanks for all of your time and information. Michelle said my hair is rocking. Dearbit said yes for sure. That's so funny, right? Because there's this troll that comes in and makes me so insecure about my hair. I shouldn't even say that, right? Because now the troll's going to come for sure, knowing that I'm insecure about my hair. Bitcoin Shango in his final form. Oh, he's feeding the baby some sopa fidel, so some noodle soup. I'm making some soup too, Bitcoin Shango, because your girl was sick for like 2 days. Let me tell y'all, my little one had a stomach bug on Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday, he had the stomach bug. So, mommy took him, he got some fluids, he came back, he was good. And then mommy woke up Friday and her stomach I felt like I needed to remove my stomach and all of my intestines. That's how bad it was. So please, 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 please do not catch this stomach bug. Luckily, my baby didn't catch it because, he was my nurse. He was my sexy nurse.
Yeah, you got, I got the youngin' down there who had the stomach bug with his soap Fidel.
Yep.
It's,
but that's all that's in it, his.
No, his is Toy Story.
Oh, it's Mickey Mouse this week.
Oh, it's Mickey Mouse.
Toy Story.
So he goes by Toy Story, these little soap Fidels, and he likes them. I don't know if they taste good. Does he eat them?
They are horrible, y'all. I don't know. I think he eats them. Yeah, I think he eats them because he's a little kid, but it is disgusting, y'all.
He goes straight to when we go to the grocery store, he goes
straight to the soup aisle.
To his aisle, so he knows he can get his juices. He get a Sprite. He's gonna go get the sopa.
Yeah, he gets, okay, so Tino.
He's gonna get a Kinder Egg, if you guys know.
Tino is a little old man. When we go to the supermarket, Tino goes straight to get his soup, 2 juice boxes. There's something we're missing. A Kinder Egg. We're missing something. Oh, and a Sprite.
He might slide a Sprite in there.
So he got his own little list. We supposed to be shopping. And he got his own little shopping cart, y'all. Yeah. And this is the funniest thing. He is like 60 years old, 70 years old now, in a 7-year-old's little body. And he just lost a tooth, y'all. So I had told him that due to inflation and the reorganization of tooth fairies, one may be delayed to be assigned to you. We got to go to the ATM so we can get some cash.
He might get 10 pesos. That's good.
He wants enough pesos so he can buy him a toy. But we got about 37 people in the room.
So let's go. Let's get at it.
Dearbit told me to roll my eyes all the way in the back of my head, right, Dearbit? We say that, but Beyonce tell us, don't read the comments. She be like, y'all don't read the comments. Yeah, when the trolls are trolling. But one of the things that Simon and I take great pride in and we really enjoy is that I can't find another show on YouTube where we talk directly to y'all, right? This is really like a family reunion or a family roundtable. Let's call it a family roundtable because there ain't no food at this reunion, right? So, family roundtable where the family get together 3 times a week and we talk directly to you guys. We interact directly. You know how many YouTubers I would love to talk to? If I put my little chat in, my little 2 cents, and they say something back, I'll be like, such and such, doctor.
Yeah, I talked to a few, but not many.
Who you talk to?
Like Joe Rogan. I always talk to Joe Rogan.
And he talk back to you?
Yeah.
Really, he do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because he got like millions and millions and millions.
It might be his social media director, for all I know.
Oh, well,
It might
that's
not
just true,
even- it
right?
might
We
not
don't
even
know.
be him.
Yeah, we don't know. And for those of y'all who think y'all gonna slide in my DMs, just know that hubby is my social media manager. So don't be cute in the DMs because he don't like that.
Sometimes.
I have to tell him up front. Don't be sliding in there talking about, hey, hubby's my social media manager. I don't even get on the social media. I have too many other things to do. But if you email me, that's me. And don't be sliding in there being cute either, because I will forward your email to my husband.
So let me ask a question. I just want to ask a question to the chat room because I seen a disturbing post.
Simon, leave that girl alone.
I'm not gonna say her name. I seen a disturbing.
But as soon as you say the post, she gonna know it's her.
Well, but she put the post out there, so I'm asking. So I seen a disturbing post. And there's a person who I guess has slid in her DMs.
It's a female.
Trying to get her to trying to get her into some trading platform, this, that, and the other, telling her about
No, they
Bitcoin trades she could have made and money she could have made. We keep telling her, like, no, we're hodlers, we're long time holders, low time preference. But then on Facebook, she put a post, and I couldn't tell if she was joking or not. She said, since the having happened in Bitcoin 64,000
Why hasn't the price cut in half?
to 32,000. And I said, what? Are you serious?
She was serious.
So I looked in the comments like, is she serious? Or is she just like
She was
trolling
serious.
us or being
And there
trolling?
were nice people in the comment. We're supposed to be nice. There were nice people in the comments who explained to her what the halving actually is to the best of their ability.
Yes.
In a comment, right?
And I'm just saying, she is out here trying to teach people trading and ways to trade Bitcoin, but isn't even sure what the halving is. And I say, well, but I say, so, and that's what I'm saying is, I'm not mad at the people, but sometimes you got to get in these spaces and learn. Like, don't just jump in and think you could just teach right off of other people's talking points, because you see that far too often. You could tell people who've been here.
Woo!
Oh, boy.
What was that, baby?
That's my kid. People who've been here a long time, sometimes you can't. Sometimes people talking, jump in and you
The
hear
rain is coming.
Oh, the rain's coming.
Yeah, the rain's
Oh, boy. And so I just wonder,
I'm gonna close our door.
everybody is pretty much up on what the halving is, right? Am I correct or am I making an assumption?
Explain it anyway.
So just so I know where I stand, because I just figured we've been talking about it the whole time. It's been coming up. I figured everybody was researched up on it and knew what it is and knew what it has been. And people who've been in the space have been through multiple halvings. I've been through multiple halvings. And so, you know what it is when it's coming around. You understand, the rough definition of it. And I just see a lot of people hopping into space, MLMing, trying to get you into some kind of trading platform where you're trading crypto, trading Bitcoin. You can make, it'll tell you something crazy like 13% a day, every day, which we all know who have been in this space and who have been investing. That's just not real. We understand it. We're not chasing after a bag, as everybody says. we're building wealth, and once we build the wealth, we are protecting the wealth. So I just didn't know. I wanted to make sure everybody knew the having, I feel, is basically doing. Thank you. That's what I feel too. That's what I feel too. Thank you, Mark. That's what I feel. But and then she said I might have been making assumptions, so I said, well, let me just ask then if I don't know.
So what I was saying earlier, I think we only had about 10 or 11 people in the room when I was explaining this earlier, right? So shout out to BK Crypto. Hi, Courtney. Hi, sweetheart. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Mark, for joining. What I was saying is the crypto space in general, the Bitcoin space, crypto space in general, has a personality of, I don't want to say meanness, but when somebody has a question about basic crypto information, there tends to be,
She's saying it's snobbish.
it's snobbish, right? So, people are like rude, they insult, they guilt, they shame, they embarrass. Yeah. And it makes people in the space who do have questions not want to ask questions. So like, for real, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. What's his name? The McAfee guy? I didn't know who the McAfee guy was. When baby told me he just walking around, I was like, who is that? Right? I didn't know who he was, but he's supposed to be an OG, triple OG in the Bitcoin space.
Yeah, he's
And I think it's okay to not know everything.
Well, that's that, and snobbish coming from somebody who's from Queens but claims Long Island. That's the.
I wasn't being snobbish. How was I being snobbish? I don't know who John McAfee is.
You Long Island? Are you from Queens?
I am not from Queens. I'm from Long Island.
All right.
No.
Queens in the
Okay.
house.
So without digressing and getting off the subject, right? For my New Yorkers, too many people like to claim boroughs they not really from, right? So you gotta be for real and say, yo, I'm not from Hollis. I'm not from Left Rack. I grew up on Long Island.
You from
That's what got Prodigy in trouble.
It did get him in trouble.
Right? Because too many people be out here like, yeah, I'm from East New York. No, you not.
Yeah. He was from
who do you know in East New York? And then they can't name anybody because they're not really from. They were born there. They would live there for a year. And New Yorkers, they be like, you got to be real on where you from.
You from the 41st side?
I'm not from the 41st side.
BK Crypto know what I'm talking about.
Right, and I lived in Left Rack City for 6 months, right? I was born when I was 6 months old. We moved to Hollis, the Francis Lewis side of Hollis. When I was 2 years old, we moved to, it's called Lakeview, but it's West Hempstead, for those who know that better. And from 2 years old to 18 years old, that's where I live. So I can't claim a borough because I'm not from a borough.
You're from where Nori and them from.
No, I'm not. And no, I'm not. And I don't take no pride in claiming a place I ain't really from. Like, for real.
You said Nori and them.
But where BK Crypto at?
He was
right? Look, he said they be friends, and it's true. And that's what got Prodigy in trouble with them, because he went and wrote a whole book like, he was from the bridge, and he wasn't from the bridge.
Nah,
he wasn't from the bridge. And that's why Muggs was mad. I don't even know why you did that, because you had so many people out there like, but you're not from the bridge.
Yeah, they took his mural down twice.
They defaced the mural, and then it was taken down.
And they tried to redo it, and they defaced it again.
Right, and a lot of people on Long Island who were born and raised on Long Island wanted to be out in the streets claiming boroughs they wasn't really from, claiming people who wasn't really their squad, and so on and so forth.
The real ones didn't know.
And you're not supposed to do that. That's why I make it very clear on this thing in front of 300, 500, 1,000 people, your girl's from Long Island. Yeah, that's where she from.
Shout out to Wyandanch.
I'm not from Suffolk County. I'm from Nassau County.
I'm talking about Rakim. He claimed it. He claimed it hardcore.
Okay, but we ain't shouting out no Suffolk County.
Shout out to EPMD.
We shout out Nassau County because that's where we from. And I don't even shout out Lakeview like that, because I ran as fast as I could when I was 18 years old to get out of there.
Yeah. So, not like she said, not to digress, but we just get back to the people in the space, she said, we like to talk about mastery, but she talks about
being a jack of all trades.
jack of all
So there's
trades
nothing wrong with being the jack of all trades, right? The problem that we're having is this generation, and I was telling hubby this generation has this weird need for validation, right? Y'all hype me up talking about how nice my hair was, right? So under this generation's premise, first thing I should do is run to Facebook and take a selfie. Run to IG, take a selfie, right? Pull this down a little bit so you can see some cleavage, so I can get hearts and likes and clicks. And we're noticing more and more that people want to be seen, they want to be heard, but they're not ready to teach. They're out here, they're not even the jack of all trades, they're not even the jack of the trade, and they want to pose as a master teacher. And then, right, and this is what we were telling people about, be very, very, very cautious about paying for subscriptions. Right? A lot of these people, they want to show you how you can make money off of this trade. But the reality is, and you know, Aaron always talks to y'all about the reality. The reality is they don't make any money until you join, right? Your subscription is what makes the money, not them trading. They're not making that much money off of trading.
You got to understand.
It's the pyramid, it's the MLM that helps them to make the money off of the trade.
We'll go over this, and we say it time over time, but just to reiterate, there's all kind of OG Bitcoiners out there giving free information. Michael Saylor, Max Kaiser, Stacy Herbert, Lynn Alden.
Hundreds and hundreds of hours of free information.
Yeah, all these people give all this free information. And then on the back end, they have some kind of subscription service if you want, more intimate interaction with them. But the information's there. Lynn Alden gives a crazy newsletter every 6 weeks. It's crazy. It's like reading
very comprehensive,
a small book, right?
A small textbook.
Yeah, it's like
a technical textbook.
It's very comprehensive, and she is going to break it down. She goes on interviews. I don't really see her having her own YouTube channel as much as I see her interviewing with other people. But you see Raoul Powell out there. You see Michael Saylor interviewing with everybody. He's going to give you the information. Michael Saylor, by trade or by through his college profession, is a rocket scientist for real. He's a rocket scientist for real who went to MIT. Right. And so if somebody from MIT is giving you free game as a rocket scientist, listen to that person. He's not charging you. The other guy, I know everybody's not a big fan of him, but I took his course back in 2018. SEC chair Gary Gensler, back when he was what do you call it? He was a professor, but he was the head professor of economics.
The dean?
He was the dean of economics at MIT, and he taught a blockchain course. It's about 18 videos, 1 hour each, so it's about 18-hour course.
And it was free as a jaybird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's MIT YouTube. And and then I was surprised when the way he behaved once he became.
They got him. Agent Smith got him.
They got him. But if you go back and check that out, that's before they had got him, and he was the way he is now. Nobody really likes him, from what I understand. But he gave good information on just not about Bitcoin, but just learning how the blockchain works. And so, but yeah, they got him, man. They put a little money in his pocket. Because being a professor doesn't pay well, from what I hear.
Agent Smith from The Matrix got him. That's why he's a funny gangster. But I also want to mention something important. So we're in rainy season right now. The internet's okay, but if we get cut off,
it's the rain.
The electricity went out, and that's the end of the show. So I just want to mention that real quick. We got 57 people in the room on Sunday. Mr. Burns' courses did trick me. I thought he was a friend. That's so funny. Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns. Yeah, he does, right. Yeah. I like that.
Cousin Shango is hilarious.
I like
Cousin Shango also said that Lyndon's his crush respectfully because she's married and he don't home wreck.
Oh.
She would love to hear that because they are so mean to her in the comments.
Yeah, she was on somebody's show, man. I think it was Pompiano's show. He was interviewing her.
It was horrible.
Yeah, he had to go on. He had to just stop the show and go in the chat room and just chastise people because you know he got a lot of people in his chat box. His chat is moving really fast, so he can't really see it as he's interviewing her. But I guess somebody in his ear was saying, "Hey, these comments are really bad," and so he went in the chat room and he chastised them for being mean to a guest he has on his show.
It was horrible. They were
So,
cruel to her in that
yeah,
chat.
they were on his Pompliano show. I just recently seen her on. Where did we see her? The British guy. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember.
This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin. What's his name? This is Bitcoin.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I think his name. I think that's what his show is called. His name's Peter McCormick. That's his name on Twitter, but his show is called. I think this is What Bitcoin Did. My bad. What Bitcoin Did. Peter McCormick. So we just seen her
Like
on
the
his
seasoning.
show. Yeah. Just seen her on his show out there, and I think he's out in London, and she was live in London. I don't know if she's.
Were the comments off? Because I didn't get to watch that bit.
Well, his show wasn't live. It's the shows that are live where the comments start rolling, but his show wasn't live. It was uploaded, and then now maybe you went.
Maybe they did that for her though.
Yeah, maybe you went to the YouTube comments.
We will have to see.
Yeah, you have to see.
But they're really, really cruel
she's
to
one
her.
of the best macro.
And that's what I'm talking about with this space. We want to kind of change some
Yeah.
of the attributes
Mm-hmm.
and personality traits of this space. We want to be a lot more ingratiating, a lot more welcoming.
Yeah, and also not so bitter, you know, because we also love precious metals, but it seems to be some kind of fight. Like,
If
not
there's
precious
anything
metals.
else, right?
Yeah, it's like what?
It's like you can
can
do more than one, right? Or none. It's up to you.
Yeah, just diversify.
But you don't have to be so angry about it.
Yeah, you can diversify, and then because you had, if you guys ever seen the infamous debate between Michael Saylor and Frank Justra, who's a billionaire, but he's a gold investor. So him and Michael Saylor are going to go back and forth on.
So Michael Saylor don't like precious metals, huh?
He does, but he was just trying to say how it's gold 2.0, and Frank Justra, he wouldn't hear it.
None of the gold bugs won't
He
hear it.
won't hear it. So.
None of the gold bugs like that. But likewise, right? Because Andy Sheckman don't like that either.
He got all
Right?
He got all ruffled when I said that.
He did. He got ruffled. I want to say hello to Let Freedom Ring, who snuck in the room while we were talking.
He say,
Dearbit, he is walking around free in El Salvador. He was at the halving party. He got a team behind him. She said McAfee passed. He is alive and well.
yeah,
honey.
check that story.
And then he said, like Epstein. So now there's a plot twist for all my readers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a story. They said he's walking around. He said, I'm here for the halving party. I don't know.
But what did he say? Do the thing exactly the way he said, like Epstein.
He said, I mean, like, just like Epstein.
Just like, so.
He said, just like Epstein didn't kill himself. I didn't kill myself. And so you never know. I mean,
Trifling.
if you got enough money, you can pull these things off.
BK Crypto was telling you all about the fronters, the impersonators, the perps. Tommy Brown, I want to welcome you to the room. Thank you so much for joining us.
Homie, what's up, Tommy?
Bitcoin Shango said, this is why I'm glad to be a humble Southerner. This going all over my head. Nassau in the building. Andreas, and I can't say this. BK Crypto, I can't say that last name. It's Greek. Antonopoulos.
Oh, yeah.
Say it. Can you say it?
I can't say it, but
all right. Cousin Shango talking about Lynn is his crush. I wish you would like send her a letter so that she could just feel good. The mean folks in the comments just show who the mental midgets are and who's not. Peter McCormick and what Bitcoin did.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was trying to get
Sometimes crypto people need to put the ego in check. Raul Powell said he had 100% of his portfolio in crypto, bananas. But the thing is, right, when we talk about trolls, they're sitting in a room. I always say they sit in their mama basement, but they're sitting in the room and they can hide behind their keyboard. That's not something they can like say to your face. You know what I mean? So we have these keyboard warriors who have all of and then in real life, they don't have any of that bravado. So you would say, you know, you shouldn't worry about it, but sometimes it gets to you a little bit. You feel like,
Yeah,
well,
Ralph
damn,
Powell's
why
off
you
the
come
chain,
on
man.
here getting at me?
He's off the chain. He's up there like with Lynn Alden, man. You know, he worked at Wall Street, and I think he worked at Goldman Sachs in his formative years. And then now, so when you hear Ralph Paul speak, man, that's real. I
And
know
it's free.
it sounds crazy to have 100% of his portfolio in crypto, but maybe he knows what he's talking
I know
about.
what he's talking
He
about.
might.
Cousin Shango said a lot of gold bugs get mad for no reason. I was just thinking to myself, why are you so mad when you're on the same side? I don't know why people get so emotional about crypto. Must get emotional, super emotional about XRP, right? And not just big grizz, but like a lot of XRPers. That sounded weird when I said it. A lot of people who are in XRP, XRPers, that sounds crazy. A lot of people who are in XRP, they're real sensitive about the XRP, and you like, dude, chill out.
Yeah,
It's like 37 cents. You don't have a right to be all
You
upset.
have to have like you have a. So if he's 100% crypto, so then there's a portfolio diversification within crypto,
Yeah,
right? So he will diversify his portfolio within crypto.
right.
Just like you said. Remember Mike Maloney? If you guys are familiar with Mike Maloney,
Silver.
goldandsilver.com. He taught us about HBAR, which was, as he explained, the header hash graph.
Header hash graph. Yep.
Many, many years ago in that series that we watched.
Yep.
About money.
Hidden money.
Hidden money. So he knows how to have some kind of crypto, but also know how to gold, silver. He knows how to have Bitcoin. Like you could just have a diversification without taking one side. It's not a fight. It's not. It's not a Yeah.
But like Cousin Shango said, like, dude, we on the same side. Chill out.
Same side.
Jake Fever, Cousin Jake's in the
Jake, man,
house.
man,
What up?
I ain't seen you in a minute, Jake. I thought you left us.
Dear Bit, thank you. Antelopus, she did it like Sesame Street.
Yeah.
She did the phonetics in me.
Yeah, it's hard to say that.
He's a great source of info.
Yeah.
I can't say his name. It's not how it's spelled. I get that. You're just trying to do the phonetics for me. If you know, you know. Thank you so much for joining. Sheckman has Bitcoin now. I don't know the ins and outs of his beliefs, but he has admitted he owns Bitcoin. Mark Moss got him. Yes, but he's just like real sensitive about calling Bitcoin gold 2.0.
Yeah,
he don't like that, right? That was what he didn't like. It wasn't that he didn't have Bitcoin.
Nah,
he just didn't like us calling it that.
Yeah, he's a savvy investor, so he knows, what to do.
Cousin BK Crypto said Dan Tapiero.
Okay.
And then Cousin Jake said they just all talking heads now about Bitcoin and chill.
Yeah.
Cousin Shango said, yeah, people are way too comfy with talking smack and not getting smacked in the mouth, right? I know. Right? People don't get punched in the face anymore, so they just say whatever.
Who about to get punched?
I love when the cousins talk to each other and say hello to each other. I love that. If you know, you know.
Don't we know who's gonna get punched in the face?
Who's gonna get punched in the face?
Friend of the show, Jake Paul is going to get punched in the face.
Oh, by
Friend
Mike
of the show.
Tyson.
Yeah, sorry, Jake Paul. Friend of the show though. We got nothing but love for Jake Paul, but Mike Tyson is.
He's gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah, Mike is Mike. That's Mike.
Jay Fever used some of the liquor budget and changed that fire alarm battery. He wasn't playing when you said everything going into Bitcoin. If you know, you know. Ceiling's too high, bro. I gotta buy a new ladder. Yes, please change the battery. ASAP Rocky, right?
Who got a?
Cousin Jay probably had a live where the was beeping like crazy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he got it. The ceilings are high.
Okay.
We know your pain. Let me tell you, baby's balloon ended up going all the way up there.
It's gone.
So we had to put like a ladder on top of a ladder to get baby's balloon back. So we know about too high ceilings. Lots of categories to consider to diversify in crypto if people like Mark saying, right? That's what I'm saying, Mark. Like, y'all chill out, right? Don't get so upset. Calm down. Calmate, right? You can have whatever you want. We're going to have whatever we want. She's going to have whatever she wants. He's going to have whatever. But people get real emotional and real sensitive about what it is that they're into. And we always tell y'all, when you're investing, you have to take the emotion out of it. You have to. You can't have emotion investing. That's what they want because that's where you get paper hands.
Yeah, and that's when they try to come and call you toxic Bitcoiners or something, toxic maximalists. All these terms they try to come at you with, and it's just like, well,
That's so funny.
I picked something that I wanted. Why am I toxic? I don't know why I'm toxic. Why am I toxic?
Because you're a maxi?
Yeah, I'm just toxic by being a maximalist.
By proxy.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I'm just toxic.
Tony Blunt, welcome to the room. That's the first time I think I've seen your
Tony
name.
Blunt.
We want to welcome you to the room. He said whole accent went full New York when she was talking about New York. That's funny because I didn't pick up on that. He said, I love this good stuff though. I don't understand the halving. I would like an explanation. Thank you for asking, Tony. Tony would like a simple explanation on what the halving actually is.
Okay.
Without being shamed, insulted, embarrassed, and just mistreated. And we want more adoption in the space. We can't mistreat people when they have questions.
Yeah, it really, make it plain. And if you guys want to hop in the chat room, it's really just for the miners, how many Bitcoin you can mine per 10 minutes in a block. And so it went from
Cut that in half.
6.25 to 3.125, right? And before it was 6.25, it was 13.50. So, and then what you will have is, because people think you just buy Bitcoin, but you have to understand it has to be mined.
Yes.
And so the miners have to be profitable for them to continue mining, right? So there has to be what's the term called? But there's a price where you are profitable, and then if you are no longer profitable, then you will no longer mine. If it's like that. Somebody said yesterday it was 60,000.
Yes.
I did not do my.
You didn't vet that.
I didn't bet that, but it sounds about right. So if you have miners who are mining the coins and they can't sell them for profit, then they'll just hodl the coins. And then, because the coins have to be sold to places like Coinbase and Cash App and places like that.
The exchanges.
But if the miners just hold the coins until they see a price that's favorable for them, eventually the price will go up because it's supply and demand, economics, and ultimate scarcity.
So the supply is being reduced.
It's reduced.
And that should increase demand.
And I'm not a miner or anything, but there's things that go on with the amount of kilowatts that you use and where you use them and how you get the kilowatts. If it's just straight from electricity, some people get it from hydro. They kicked them out of China.
Yes, they did.
They was getting them from hydro and they got kicked out. So and then you got people over here in El Salvador who are getting it from
the volcano
geothermic.
energy.
Yeah,
geothermic energy.
So there's different ways to get the energy to mine.
But long story short, they're reducing the supply in order to increase the demand, because remember, one of the main attributes, one of the main characteristics of Bitcoin is ultimate scarcity.
And these places, BlackRock, ARK Investments, who else is buying it up? MicroStrategy. United States, yeah, on the slide. These people are buying more. They're buying it more daily than can be mined. So this is where the scarcity is going, and this is where you're going to see the squeeze up. So the last mining, and somebody get in the comments if you can help me. The last time there was a halving, I think it was about $7,000. Is that right? Does that remind? I don't know. It'd have been 2020. It'd have been 2020. And I think it was about 7,000, between 7 and 8,000. It was a little volatile in that area, and there was a halving, and everybody's waiting for the price to go up, and we kind of just danced around between $7,000 and $8,000, and that's when you start getting that rip. Remember, we got that rip, and I remember one day it was December. It was Christmas. It must have been Christmas 2020. And I remember because it was 25,000 on 25, and then it started ripping. And I kind of remember this stuff. And then in February, that's when Elon Musk jumped on it, and it ripped up to 40-something thousand in February of 2021, right?
That's when we thought he was a rocket scientist.
That's what he said he is. That's what he said.
That's when we all thought he was a rocket scientist.
But I try to keep this stuff in my mind, but I think the last halving, it was between 7,000 and 8,000. You could fact check me on that, but it was back. It was a little bit. You probably got close to 8-9x if you just roll the halving out to this halving. And so if you look at this if you just keep looking at the pattern, because this is the third halving I've been through. So yeah, I mean.
But there was a gigantic halving party in El Salvador.
Yeah.
And apparently John McAfee was there. We don't know who else was present, right? Who else, was not supposed to be there that was there and having a great time. But I think other people had like little mini halving parties.
Yeah, it was cool. We had a little having
like
party
a little thing here in the house. But yes, so you're just talking about the reduction of supply in order to increase demand.
Yeah.
Oh,
you got to roll it because people was rolling through. I didn't know.
Yeah, I had
Maybe
to
I didn't
check
explain it right.
a cat. No, you explained it good. I had to check a cat on Crypto Blood's page. Dude questioned my intelligence and touted his degrees at me when I was talking to someone. Yeah, I don't know why, people are so like bitchy when it comes to asking questions, giving information. That's the whole point of this community, is information. And it doesn't matter how basic or elementary the information is. If one of your cousins has a question, you better be good to them. Because if I find out you're not good to them, you're going to hear from me.
Yeah.
So we need to be more engaged. We can't be asking for mass adoption. And then at the same time, when people have elementary basic questions, we treat them like crap.
And you
right?
have,
It just doesn't.
Wow. You have to also have the humility, if you do not know the answer, to say, I do not know.
Or I know it, but I can't articulate it in a way where you may understand it.
You have to have the humility in that case. But yeah, we just so what they say.
So Cousin Shango said, I told him I don't need to flaunt my degrees and certifications, but I was willing to use the info he had on his page to show up at his house and ask him to repeat himself.
Okay.
He got real quiet after that. Cousin Tony, welcome to the family, said that makes total sense. I'm going to do some research eventually, though. The more you have over time, wouldn't there be an endpoint? I may be getting too deep into it. Yes, just only 21 million.
Yeah, so what they say, hey, this is last time I researched, the last Bitcoin will be mined in 2140. So it'll be past our time.
Yes.
That's why we have to have a low time preference view of it for our generational wealth, because we won't be here when the last one is mined.
There's also coming a time where access to it's going to be extremely difficult.
Yes.
Right, and this is why we keep yelling to the rooftops, Cousin Jake especially, hold it, right? Hold on to it. Hold on. Like if you live in El Salvador, if you live there and you want to do, certain transactions and stuff so that you can help the people kind of have it in a great circulation, right? There's nothing wrong with like buying some and then kind of utilizing it in order to purchase items and stuff like that, using it for your activities of daily living.
Yeah, I just seen today in an article they're taking it at Starbucks in El Salvador. So for our coffee drinkers, you can go down there and buy coffee with Bitcoin.
And they're going to hold the hell out of it.
Yes, they are.
They're going to hodl the shit out of it.
Yeah.
So, you really want to kind of have a significant portion that you're just buying and holding.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
We are hodlers from here until kingdom come, literally till kingdom come, because I'm hoping that kingdom coming soon with all the foolishness happening in the world. But there is coming a time, Cousin Tony, where access to it is going to be extremely difficult. And this is why we're holding on to it too, so that our generations coming after us will have access to it. Easy access. Okay, we have a Jokey A. Thank you so much for, no, not Jokey, Joey. Is it Joey? Joey A. Thank you so much for joining our live. That's the first time I've seen that name, who also had that question. So I'm so glad that you spoke up and said that you wanted the information for that as well.
No,
Let freedom ring. We are not kidding
no,
about that.
No, that's an article. It's some eyewitness testimony about actually running into him and asking him questions and saying he said he was there for the halving party, and then this gentleman was swept off by security.
He was swept away.
Swept away by security.
You ain't supposed to be talking to the people.
So
You're supposed to
yeah,
be
I don't
dead.
know. I don't know if he's alive or not. That was the rumor. You know, you can check it out if you just type in John McAfee still alive. You probably see it on Google, and you can read the article. But yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's
Okay.
what they're saying.
Cousin Mo joined the live. Thank you so much for joining. And Tony, yes, 2140. So
Is
it's
that right? Did I
Joy.
get that right? 2040 or 2140?
I think it's 2140, not 20.
Did I say 2040?
You said 2140. He thought 2040. But
Oh no, yeah, it's 2140. Okay. Yeah.
And then it's French for joy. So is it joy? Is it pronounced joy? Just help me with that because I hate mispronouncing people's name. Believe it or not, even though my name is Aaron,
Okay.
people mispronounce my name all the time. And I don't know why it drives me nuts, but it drives me nuts. So Joy, if that's, she's gonna
I
tell
used to
me how
listen to McAfee all the
Oh,
time.
that's funny. Said we love
Yeah.
you guys. Thank you for keeping us informed. Her husband also listens to our live. Her husband is hematopoiesis.
And okay.
So we love couples.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining the live.
And for saying that about McAfee, everybody knew. I mean, apparently, how it went down is that he committed suicide in a prison in Spain when he was supposed to be extradited back to the United States. Now, everybody who listened to McAfee kind of understood who he was and whatnot.
Except for his wife.
It wouldn't know. No, he wouldn't just
Except for his wife.
commit suicide, right?
But his
And-
wife said that, didn't she?
Yeah, she said that. She was big on that, and we kind of like he wouldn't do that. So we felt like maybe they might have killed him and said he committed suicide.
That's what we thought about Epstein for sure.
But maybe he hit us with the okie doke. And if you got enough money, sometimes you can.
But he brought up Epstein's name, so he knows something we don't.
I don't know. I know he was the CEO. I thought of a biotech company.
And then they let Giselle take the.
But somebody said that
She pulled a Lil Kim.
somebody said that his wife didn't have any money or access to his money or something. That's what somebody said
Yeah,
to me.
somebody said he
and
needs
I
to
didn't
reach
know if
out
that-
to his wife because she's struggling, and she's a black woman.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was true or not. I said, oh wow, I didn't know about that.
He said beforehand that if they say he killed himself, he didn't kill himself. Well, he didn't. He's enjoying life with Max and Stacy in El Salvador. Now, here's something interesting. Simon and I, because I wasn't feeling well and he was my sexy nurse, we were watching these documentaries about El Salvador and how they cleaned it up.
Oh man, it's
And
crazy.
I'm actually now uber duper concerned. I want y'all kind of watch it and tell me what y'all think. They have this supermax prison that can hold 40,000 people.
I think so. It's called CCOT. Oh boy.
And
Can I look it up?
I'm
I don't want to mess up your screen.
I'm uber concerned about
Real quick. Can you type
the
in
force.
El Salvador? I think it's CCOT is the acronym. I was watching it last night. I'm like, man, this
Supermax prison, right?
new one.
We're uber duper concerned now.
I'm not concerned.
I am uber duper concerned. It's a mega prison,
So,
and it sparks a lot of controversy.
what's the acronym?
It doesn't say, babe.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just says the Center for Terrorism.
Yeah, that's CCOT. There it is. Go right back.
The Center of Terrorism?
No, go right there. You was just right there.
And we don't know, it's telling you right here in Spanish, we don't know how accurate this information is.
Yeah.
But it is CICAT. Es el Centro de Confinamiento del Terrorismo. So it's the Center of confinement for terrorism.
Yeah. I gotta check that out, man. I wish
Man,
we'd have
y'all,
put it in.
it's crazy.
Check it out because they just running down on people on the streets. And if you got
They
tattoos
are knocking on your door.
and you're a gang and it's gang tattoos, gang affiliated, you
Off
just
you
going. You
go.
didn't even have to do anything. You go, and then the director of the prison was saying these people were just here for life. And
20 to 40 years.
They didn't even do anything.
Well, we
But-
don't know if they did anything because there's no trial.
But they're gang affiliated, so this is like you're here. It's not like the United States where you're afforded a speedy trial. These guys,
No
just,
trial. You just
boom,
here
we just here, and we'll get to you when we get to you, if we get to you.
if we get to you. And a lot of I don't want to say a lot of people. There are people being reported like killed. It was a 76-year-old woman who was killed. I didn't like
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah, so you gotta get these cats up off the
Right,
street.
her liver was lacerated, which means somebody beat her terribly.
And you got to get these, and that's what he's saying.
I wasn't feeling that.
So they're trying to say he's a dictator. Um,
They're not trying to say, they're saying he's a dictator. That's what they're
and
saying.
So he's cleaned up his country, his safest country in the Western Hemisphere.
But
That is what they
unfortunately,
say.
it comes with a lot of collateral damage.
Collateral damage. Yeah, these cats is they just tossed him in prisons. It was so he was showing the cell. He didn't give the dimensions of it, but it's 80 people in the cell, and it's just packed in there. You guys go check this documentary out, man. It's crazy. This is packed in there, and he was coming through at night because the guy who was doing the documentary, he was having a hard time getting the permits, and so when they finally gave him the permits, said you can come through at night. So he came through at night, and everybody just sitting up. Nobody's sleeping. Everybody just sitting up watching. And it just was like, it was eerie. It was, like, it was kind of like, oh my goodness.
But this is one of those things where we talk about you're not of this place, right? And you can go there and prosper. I don't like to say it like that because they're struggling there. But it's one of those things where if you go there, you will absolutely prosper. We came here to Isla Huaca de Raon, and we are absolutely prospering here in a way that I don't think we could have ever really prospered in the United States. As much as I have worked to climb that ladder, for some reason, when I got here, climbing the ladder seemed easy. I don't know why. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you gotta take your. That's what the assets and arbitrage is about. Yeah, you're gonna build your assets, but you
But
also look for
even
the
the
arbitrage.
business, the consultation business Simon and I have has been doing better than ever, and they're American, right? It's almost like, well, we have more respect for y'all because y'all live outside of the United States,
you do what you
12
say.
months out the year, and that seems to be fantastical to certain people. So there's a certain level of respect that we have here that I guess we couldn't get in Kissimmee.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and we speak to other people who live outside the country. We're not advocates for Mexico per se.
No, yeah.
You do
Wherever
you do
your place is.
yeah, you do your knowledge,
Your
do the
flag.
knowledge and see what fits you and your family and the things that you want to do. It's 100 what? It's 200 countries, I think, and 250
choose
when you
from.
name some of the like some of the islands and things like that.
But there is something to say about the ability to focus and being almost like in a bubble somewhere else, right? Because the things that distract you in the United States won't distract you somewhere else, right? It's the weirdest thing. This was great for our marriage. This was great for our children. This was great for us individually. And it doesn't have to be 12 months out the year. We say it all the time. Maybe it's a month out the year. Maybe it's 2 months out the year, and then you can go back to the United States. The problem is, and I'm going to use, I want to say Cousin Shango's word.
Okay.
Maybe it was Joy's word. I can't remember who said it. But it's polarizing. It is polarizing. When I go to the United States, I am counting my days until I can get back home.
I don't
For
go.
one reason or the other.
I don't go, yeah.
The way that people treat you, the way that people greet you, how you get through transactions. We've never, ever, 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 ever seen someone throw a temper tantrum inside of any store or any fast food place since we've been here. And that seems to be the norm. We can walk through any neighborhood and nobody's gonna come outside, no Karen's gonna come outside to greet us and be like, you don't belong here. Just the things that seem to happen and go on in the United States. There's no looting here. If my children did go to school, which we would not do. If my children did go to public school or were in the public school system, we wouldn't have to worry, are they gonna come home today?
No.
So there's a lot of benefits to you being outside of that what we call a meat grinder system.
Yeah.
Outside of what Neely Fuller, what do you call
Okay. So,
it? He call it activities.
all right.
Neely
So,
Fuller had a name
so
for
what you
it.
talking about?
Neely Fuller had a name for the 9 areas of activity.
That's what it is. 9 areas of activity.
But 9 areas of, I'm gonna call it negative activity, or
Negative
9
activity,
areas
right.
of systemic,
Activity.
right, where they want you to be part of the system. There's 63 people in the room.
Yeah.
We've been on for 1 hour on Sunday. We're not gonna keep you guys long today.
But I just wanted to see some of the comments. I see like,
I read that.
okay.
Yeah, from what I heard, his first family kind of iced her out of a lot of stuff financially. Cousin Shango, when you say iced her out of stuff financially, do you mean McAfee's wife?
Yeah.
If you can just clarify your
I think
statement.
that's what you're talking about.
Joy said she's really interested in El Salvador. So El Salvador was a beautiful country. We got a chance to go, Joy, in 2022. It did look just like Mexico, right? Like if you blindfolded me, turned me around, and then like had me walk somewhere, I would have thought I was in Mexico.
Mexico, Costa Rica, it reminded me of Costa Rica a lot.
Right. But it looks very different from any place in the United States.
Yeah.
So that's good. It was very what we would call tranquilo, meaning it was very calm. It was very quiet,
It was quiet.
very
was.
pleasant.
People were very receiving of you.
Very receiving of you. Now, obviously, if you go to San Salvador, which is the city center, it's going to have a lot more hustle and bustle. But what we loved was it is just this big, what we call egregor of Bitcoin and crypto. Everybody you encounter wants to talk to you about Bitcoin and crypto. It doesn't matter where they're from. They don't even ask you your name or anything, right? They just strike up a conversation with you, or you can strike up a conversation with them. So if you wanted to work on your physical networking skills, that is the environment to do it for sure.
And for my people who travel a lot, I know we have our problems with different airports, but San Salvador Airport is it's a great airport. Sometimes you get to some of these airports, it's just like, oh my goodness. Mexico City, man, probably the worst airport
in the world
I've ever been to. And, some of these places, so when you get to San Salvador, it's just easy. You kind of easy breezy. You got to play. When we went, it was $12. They may have raised it.
Maybe.
But it's within that range. You pay that when you
They
get
use
there.
the dollar, so you don't have to worry about going or finding an exchange.
Come with your dollars.
The cabs are right outside. If you can find somebody that you really kind of like to drive you around, definitely take his WhatsApp. Now, for those of you who live in America and don't use WhatsApp, anytime you leave America, WhatsApp is the mode and method of use.
In LATAM.
In LATAM and in the Caribbean, right? If you're going somewhere else, I'm not really sure how that works, but in LATAM and the Caribbean, WhatsApp is the method of, that is how they advertise business. That is how you order food. It is, I did have the thing to order food. I have to go back. Oh, I don't have that phone anymore, babe. You upgraded my phone.
Yeah, so we have to.
I'm gonna get it. It's purple. That doesn't help at all, Joy, right? But I'm gonna get it for you. But the food, like the Uber there, I'm gonna get it for you. But that's easy breezy. The food is delicious, absolutely delicious. We didn't have any stomach issues while we were there. As I come off of my stomach issue from yesterday.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
That matters when you get out here.
For you tequila drinkers, they drink whiskey. So you're gonna have to check your tequila on the way in, or if you drink vodka, I don't think they have much of that. Their thing is whiskey and I think gin. There goes Jenny.
They didn't have Bacardi, but yeah, I checked mine on the way in.
They have Bacardi?
Yeah, Bacardi rum.
What else was notable when we went there? We went to Bitcoin Beach. Now, Bitcoin Beach doesn't look like South Beach, right? And a lot of people romanticize beaches. When you hear the word beach, you think it's going to be this beautiful, tranquil blue, beautiful ocean, and the sand's gonna be white, and there's gonna be the little cabanas, and no, 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 no. Stop romanticizing these places, okay? The beach is rough. The water is dark like the people, and it's also a surfing beach, right? So if you're a surfer, that's a great place for you to go. Uh, what else?
Yeah, because
And it's far from San Salvador. It's very far.
yeah, oh, it's a
It's
long
a
ride.
long drive, right?
It's a
So it's
long
not
ride.
close. So
People,
if you're doing that, consider that's your day.
yeah, and people are very nice out there on the beach. They're very like when you go to the restaurants,
Yes,
the servers and
they're all
everything.
set up.
Yeah,
They're
so
very nice. The servers are amazing. The food is delicious. For you and hubby, now I don't know, do you have children, Joy? Let me know. If you go with hubby, it's a very romantic thing. So you can romanticize it in that kind of part, but don't romanticize the beach because it's not what you think it is. But it can be a great romantic trip where you can hold hands, walk in the market. I don't know how much shopping you're going to do there. The clothes to me seem very cheap because Mexico has really nice clothes. I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you that right now. When I go shopping here in Mexico, I love the clothes. The clothes are of good quality, and they're very inexpensive. When I went to El Salvador, I was actually really shocked at how cheap the clothes looked. So I don't know how much of that type of shopping you're gonna do unless you go shopping inside of the mall. And that stuff is overly expensive to me because it's in dollars.
yeah.
Like the market price is written up and I'm like, so I'll just wait till I get home and get this stuff. The Nike store,
And
Louis Vuitton, all of those
she
other
said
stores,
that
it's expensive.
to my big foot bros, bring your own sneakers.
Bring your own sneakers, right?
You
If
ain't
you
getting,
wear,
you ain't
what,
getting
higher
nothing.
than a 9, babe?
9 or 10, you're not really gonna get
You're not
nothing.
gonna get, don't go there with the idea or the premise that you're gonna do shopping. A lot of people, when they
Not
go
the
on
sneakers.
vacation,
Not the sneakers.
they think that they're gonna shop, but even the clothes, remember how disappointed I was in the markets? Clothes are cheap. I wouldn't go there for shopping. So I'm gonna tell you that now. They need to step their game up with that if that's something that you wanted to do. Um, is there anything else notable that we could tell Joy and the rest of the
About El
cousins
Salvador,
about?
you said the food was good.
And they have a lot of American creature comforts like Tony Roma's, Pizza Hut.
We did have some Tony Romas. It was really good.
Little Caesar's Pizza was there. Denny's was there. Wendy's was there because we don't even have a Wendy's in Mexico. Who else, baby?
Mm.
So they have a lot of American creature comforts in addition to their great food.
Yes, we do.
Cousin Shango said, "Oh yeah, the methods used to clean up El Salvador were polarizing." Okay, Cousin Shango said, use the word polarize. Yes, when I sat and watched it, I was like,
Oh, they was on them. They was on them. You know, if they did that in the United States, everybody would be up in arms. But it's a small place.
because they would just go to every black person's house and put them in prison. Whereas
Yes,
at
that's what they
least when
do.
he went, they're looking. Let me see if you got tattoos. Off you go.
So the difference is El Salvador is homogeneous, as we call it.
Yeah, so they
So-
have to find other methods.
Yeah, so they do that, but the United States is a melting pot. So now they could just zero in on people, and you're like, man, that's not
Zero in
fair.
on a group of people.
You know, just like the
And y'all know
stop
it
and
is.
frisk and all that. You know, everybody hated that. Yeah, they was taking cats down, man. And then this guy had a book. He was like the director. He had a book from like 25 years of what all the tattoos meant. So when he seen a tattoo, they could
He
just
know.
go through the book and say,
Like hieroglyphics.
yeah, and it was crazy. I said, well, they doing it. They doing the knowledge.
So y'all don't get no tattoos or nothing
Yeah, I
like
got them
that
tattoos.
if
I
you're
don't
El
have any
Salvadoran.
tattoos, but
Cousin Tommy said, I watched that they made them take pics with rival gangs. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
If you watched that.
yeah, it was crazy if you watched the one I watched.
Then Cousin Tony said again, the wife and I have been thinking about checking out Belize. So a lot of people like to go to Belize because it is an English-speaking country.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something that you need to know. Belizeans speak something called patois. And patois is typically French, Dutch and English, because what they did during the slave days is they rotated the slaves around plantations so that they didn't get comfortable and they didn't have a weird uprising, okay? Even though patois is English, they can speak it in a way where you have no idea what they're saying,
Trust me, I've been there and I didn't know
right?
what people were saying.
My mom, if we go somewhere, my mom would say to me, paisa no vas. Does that sound like English to y'all? And what she's basically telling me is, I don't have anything in my basket. And what that means is, I want you to pay for it because I don't have anything in my wallet, right? So
We're doing a lot.
I, I like to tell people who are interested in Belize, and a lot of times they tell you, like, I want to go to another country, but they speak English there. You can run into not understanding the patois. Two, believe it or not, they teach the patois in school, which they're not supposed to. So the children are doing their assignments in patois, which they shouldn't be. And, growing up and utilizing the patois in commerce and business as merchants. And you, as an American, may not understand what they're saying. So I do want to kind of just brace you for that. I'm not telling you not to go. Please go, because there's a lot of people you will understand who speak great English. They may even sound like they have a little English accent from England because they wanted to go out of their way to ingratiate the tourism that's there and separate themselves. But I do want you to understand too, if you go get your nails done and you notice that they're speaking patois, they're probably talking about you.
Yeah, so
right, little stuff like
and that's
that.
one of the things people who who want to move abroad, but they think that language barrier is not something
They're scared of the language
They don't want to deal
barrier.
with that, so they say, well, can we go somewhere where they speak English? But you'll be surprised. I mean, you guys been out. I know you guys been traveling. You go somewhere, yeah. I can't understand what people. We Cayman Islands, all these places we went.
And then when I go and I put on my Guyanese accent, I typically get a lot of discounted items for us when we travel, right? I'll go and, honey, I'm putting my Guyanese accent on.
And they're gonna call me a Yankee. A Yankee? I'm a Yankee.
Yeah. So, like, just those little differences. Okay, so Tony Blunt's gotta go, Let Freedom Rings gotta go. Thank you so much for joining us. Tony Blunt said he's looking forward to diving into more of our content. We appreciate it. That's how you guys can support us, by consuming our content. Cousin Shango said he doesn't want to leave the CONUS because of his children. He doesn't want to be dad from a distance. We respect that.
We respect that.
Wholly.
Most respect. Most respect on that.
Wait. I heard his adult children iced his new wife out of financial things. You mean John McAfee? That's what I was trying to. So Joy said, oh, wow, interesting. Thank you so much for breaking that down. I appreciate that. If you had to compare, which would you choose, El Salvador or Mexico? I would definitely, if we didn't have the children and the stability, we would choose El Salvador.
I don't know.
I would choose El Salvador.
That's a tough one.
Why?
Because I don't know where you live at, Joy.
Joy, where do you live? What city do you live in?
Yeah, where do you live at? Because I always told people to go to Mexico because it's like dipping your toe in the water. You still have the comfort creatures that you talk about, right?
So does
Creature
El
comforts.
Salvador.
I know, but it's a bigger country. If you need to get back home, back and forth real quick,
It's closer.
It's closer. If you go to somewhere like Mexico City, it's more like a Manhattan. So if you like big cities in that regard, boy, what else?
But El Salvador is going to have a lot more English because of the crypto community. You're going to be in the egregor.
It's gonna be a smaller place.
Crypto. It is smaller. I don't know if they have Amazon. I would have to look into that because that's
Stuff like
very
that.
important.
And because I don't, you never know about somebody if you need some type of health care or anything like that. You might want to stay closer to a bigger city. Boy.
There's no crime in El Salvador.
There's no crime. There's a VA in Mexico City if you're a veteran.
If you're a veteran, there's a VA.
So it's a lot of things that go into that. But, you let us know.
So you see, we 50-50. He would say Mexico. I would say El Salvador.
No, I would go to El Salvador, but it's still one of the big things is healthcare. That's a big thing, healthcare. If you bring your children, then it's going to be education.
But I'm sure Bukele got that locked up because he wants big capital to come there.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that he's covered or
Yeah, he
checked that box.
wants it to be Dubai. He wants it to be Singapore. And,
Dubai, not flooded. That's a
man.
mess, y'all.
Oh, that's another show. Yeah, Dubai. Y'all checking about Dubai. What's up there? A lot of black people like to hang out in Dubai. Man. What's
Cousin
going on?
Shango said when he was in La República Dominicana, WhatsApp was the shiznit. Yeah, and that's what everything I do is on WhatsApp. Every single thing. And my American friends are like, I gotta download what? You gotta download WhatsApp if you want to talk to me. I have a recent and apparently permanent medical issue with my stomach. I have to find a look. Let me tell you something. You stay right where you are, because you do have to get used to the food and some other things here.
Yeah.
Joy said they have 4 children, just like we do. 3, 6, 9, and 17. Oh,
boy.
snap on the shopping. You don't want to shop there. Now, like I said, you're gonna shop in the stores that's marked up. They know that big capital is coming there, so that's something you need to consider.
Yeah, because here in Mexico, you still will have the markets. When I say the markets, you go down, drive down the street, somebody selling fruits and vegetables. You have the polleria, where they just sell fresh chicken. The carniceria, where they sell beef.
Pork.
And then you have
Rabbit.
Not rabbit.
They do. They sell conejo. They sell rabbit.
I'll pass on that. And then you have where they sell pescado, which is fish. So it's pretty fresh here.
Or mariscos.
I've been here, but how long have I been here?
7 years.
I've lost 60 pounds, 7 years.
Not that the food was bad, but because the food is so natural.
It's so natural. So I lost 60 pounds. So it really added probably years on.
Now, when we went to El Salvador, Joy, I'm going to tell you this. We felt the weight gain.
Oh, yeah. Cats
I'm going to tell you that now. Cats are eating out there.
They're eating out there.
And we had some American creature comforts that we don't have here in this little town that we live in. So we might have overdid it, but we felt the weight gain when we were there. So I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah,
and
it's time to go.
mugs are big out there. I ain't gonna lie. There was this lady who got off the bus, Joy.
No, come on, don't beat up the
I'm telling you, she could barely squeeze out the door. Right? She was twisting and turning and twisting and turning. And then when I started to notice, I saw y'all big out here like y'all are in America because of the American food. So when you go there, I would make it a point to stick to market stuff. Because I don't know what they're putting in the Pizza Hut and the Denny's and the Tony Roma's. I don't know what they're putting in there. If it's steroids, if it's... But they're a lot bigger than the people here in Mexico, and we noticed that immediately.
Yeah, people here in Mexico they're pretty thin.
They're not that, right? So, it was noticeable when we got to. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, so you always got to watch
okay, so Joy said grandma was Jamaican, and she got to go there every summer. Nerd Up Inc., thank you so much for joining. She's in New Jersey.
What part of New Jersey?
She said Voorhees, New Jersey.
Where's that?
I'm not familiar with Voorhees, New Jersey.
Voorhees? Like Jason Voorhees?
Yes.
All right.
My husband is fluent in Spanish and I can understand, but I'm not the best at responding. You get it in time. Don't worry about that.
I'm fluent in Spanish.
He is not. He is terrible in Spanish. Terrible. Terrible. I am his translator.
Not at all.
And so is Sean. Bitcoin Shango. To anyone still here, the family has some amazing videos on how they live. Yes. So, Joy, if you just wanted to kind of see Mexico, you can go on our personal page and see some of the stuff that we do around Mexico. The mosquitoes eat me alive. Yes, the mosquitoes. Eat lots of garlic or garlic-infused foods. Processed foods are no good. Near Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Flacos y flacas. So I think that's it. That's all we got for y'all today. There are 70 people in the room on Sunday, April 21st at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, shout out
What's
to my
the personal page? If you go in the drop down, our personal page should be on there, and it's definitely on there today. I made sure. It'll say, please subscribe to the Simon Family Investment Ventures YouTube. You should be able to access that page.
Yeah, shout out to New Jersey. I spent a month in New Jersey. In Fort Dix, when I was in the Army, a place called Lumberton, New Jersey, in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And Fort Dix, which is apparently the prison. Back then it was. I don't know what it is now, but Fort Dix, New Jersey. Shout out to Fort Dix, New
I
Jersey.
went to a prison in San Diego. It was called Miramar.
Miramar, yeah, that's a Marine prison.
It's a Marine prison.
Or naval
We were
naval
taking
prison, right?
someone back.
Yeah.
And that prison is the cleanest place on earth. Let me tell y'all that. The colonel who took me on the tour as we dropped the patient off back to the prison got down on the floor and licked it. That's how clean his prison is.
They don't play. It's Marines.
He
They
don't play. He don't play at all. And then he thought it was funny as I was leaving and getting back on the plane to go back to Lackland Air Force Base. He said he got a flight suit for me and handed me an orange prison uniform. I didn't find it funny at all. I didn't know, is it because I'm black or is this really a joke? I wasn't sure. No, and no, and no.
Like beans in them.
Nope. And no. But I felt like he did it because I was black, and I didn't like that. And everybody stood around who laughed wasn't black.
Exactly.
So I didn't think it was funny. Okay, y'all. We love y'all so much.
Did you read the rest of the comments?
Yes, baby. I'm on top of the comments.
Okay.
I'm on top of the comments.
Thank you.
Cousin Shango is telling her how to find our page. But for all of you, if you just want to see what life is like in Mexico, you just hop on our page. We don't sell you guys anything, but a way you can support us is by subscribing to our YouTube page, subscribing to our Twitter page. Let me tell y'all, my Twitter page is so little. How many do we have? 100 and what?
80 something.
We have 180 people while people have 180,000 people or 1.8 million people. And I refuse to be an IG hoe on my Twitter page. So if y'all could help me by, and hubby's getting better at, we do run businesses, y'all, and I am also, also have a 9 to 5, which is really like a 9 to 9. And some nights, 9 to midnight, right? So, just be patient with us. We are going to get our Twitter page up, but if you guys, please subscribe so I don't have to do what the other girls do in the space. I'm not going to do it, so it is going to be a little bit behind. But we love y'all so much. We appreciate y'all, and we will see them.
I would say Wednesday, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday.
We will see y'all maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, likely Tuesday. And we love y'all. Have a great Sunday. Bitcoin Shango said, peace out. We appreciate all that you do. Please subscribe to their social media accounts. Yes, and yes. Facebook, I don't care about, but Twitter and YouTube, we would appreciate. So thank y'all. Have a great night.